guys, how's it going? Apologize for the current state of affairs here. I'm walking home after work from my Matrix job. Just got a channel message and wanted to share it with you guys really quickly. I've actually been reminded of this a few times in the last couple hours, and it just keeps getting reminded to me every time I'm forgetting it and not like stopping to record. So here we are again. You know, very important, you guys. Some people, you know, in this life do not have an intention, as in their soul, whether they are consciously aware of it or not, to heal. And it becomes obvious when you see people not changing, when you see people engaging or associating with like low vibrational habits, right? It makes you think like, how do people not get it? How can they, you know, carry so much hate? And something we have to remember, and maybe this also humbles us as well, that we don't necessarily need to play the actor, the role of God, and like have mercy for other people. We're allowed to feel what we feel around others, and judging might be something that, you know, becomes is natural part of like our ego. We judge, you know, a book by its cover often, right? Unless we learn that lesson and realize, actually, wait, we need to not do that. People are capable of changing, but that doesn't mean that everyone is choosing or will choose to do that. It doesn't mean that just because people are capable of changing that they're not gonna like try to change, essentially, or they're not gonna plan to. But there are souls that are on this earth to live their experience. They're either having a resting life, maybe they're resolving karma, maybe they go through a lot of experiences. Like sometimes when you see like homeless folks, like especially when they're American in a big city, and you think, gosh, like they're American and they're homeless in our country, how? Like, you know, but we don't know what people are experiencing, what they're going through. Essentially, we don't know what kind of life a soul has signed up for, simultaneously written for them. You know, and it's not this conversation around predestiny, but it's the awareness that every soul has its theme path, and many of us have combinations of those things. And that's where we see stories of people where they become sober, or they no longer engage with addictions, all that stuff. So this is coming through today as just a reminder that there are people who have chosen, whether they are aware of it or not, to not heal generational things, to not work on themselves. And sometimes you just have to come to terms with that. And you can have feelings around how people are and what they believe in, but at the same time, we have to like be aware that people are going to act how they're going to act. We don't really have control over it. We can share our wisdom, we can share our opinions, our perspective, our knowledge, and show up in an authentic way to ourselves. But ultimately, whoever is going to resonate is going to resonate. We're not going to force people to resonate. We can only do our half of our journey, which is share what we know and express and be authentic and genuine and kind if possible, okay? But we're not going to judge other people, because some people have chosen not to heal. And the most that I can do is show up. I'll let the other half of that healing piece collectively happen when other people like reciprocate, if that's even a word, or show up in reciprocity with their healing journey. Okay, so yeah, not sure who this resonates for. Could be a collection of people. This is a timeless message. Share it if it resonates. Save it for future reference. If you'd like to book a reading, go ahead and check out the calendar link in my bio.